All right, so now it has been official. WWE, UFC fusion card from Yu-Gi-Oh is now TKO. But Endorment still owns both company, but they just merged it to one, and now it's called TKO. Or how does that work, ever?
So pretty much they're still separate entities. So it's not like TKO presents SummerSlam, it's
Right,
not like
right.
that. It's more like how like Pepsi is the main company and they own like Gatorade and they own like
Mm.
Lay's,
Yeah,
they own,
yeah, yeah.
like that. So it's still a brand itself. Like you don't call it, "Oh, I'm eating Doritos brought to you by Pepsi." It's like I'm eating Doritos. Whatever. I'm not endorsing companies here, but you know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
Like the head company is Endeavor, but they made TKO as like the name of the subdivision, and then UFC and WWE are still separate.
So basically, if it's like instead of saying, "Oh, hey, we gotta make some budget cuts for WWE and UFC," it's, "Hey, we gotta make some budget cuts in TKO,"
Yeah,
meaning it's both
the whole,
companies.
yeah,
The
all,
whole.
yeah. And then
Okay.
outside of that, they WWE and UFC had their own subdivisions too. Remember they had like WWE has like all the library. It has
Oh
they own
yeah.
WWE own
So
50% of
so they, oh, I never really thought about that. So in endorsement still owns all that? I
Endeavor
mean, not
owns.
all
Well,
that,
Well,
or just WWE.
technically, WWE shareholders, because it's a public traded company, they own 49% of the company. Endeavor owns 51%. So they don't really own the entire company. They own 51%. They own majority, but it's not completely engulfed in Endeavor. So right now,
So
it's
Vince
like,
owns 49.
no, the shareholder. So Vince owns 35%, I think, total. So he has a lot of power in like, so if Endeavor or says, "Hey, WWE, we want you to like do this instead of this." McMahon has a veto power to like say no, we don't want to do that. You know,
Mm.
so he still has a lot of power behind it.
Vince is a freaking genius.
Yeah, he came out of
Oh my
so
gosh.
so
Like,
out of the
remember
50.
how this all started, dude?
Yeah,
Did it, like, remember how all this started? And then you're telling me all this? Vince McMahon is a freaking genius.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So like yeah, so Endeavor owns 51% of WWE, and Vince McMahon alone owns 34, and shareholders own the rest. But
Oh my god, that dude
But
is a
he
freaking
this include I
genius.
think TKO he owns 50 the man owns 34% of TKO. So he also owns a lot of UFC as well,
Yeah,
technically.
because it didn't Endorment hired Vince McMahon to be
Yeah,
part
they
of the
made him
company.
they made him an executive chairman for life. So until Vince McMahon dies. So Vince McMahon dies at 100 years old. He's 70 something right now, right? How old is he?
Oh
McMahon
my
is
god.
Vince
Because I
McMahon
forgot about
is
that part
yeah,
because the
so
guy,
he's
oh
he's
my,
making he's 78. So let's say he dies at 100. He's a chairman for life, executive chairman. So he owns 34% of Endeavor. Of TKO. Endeavor owns 51% of TKO. But then the WWE shareholders own the rest of the percentage, because UFC was not a publicly traded company, WWE was.
right.
So 51 and 34, that means 85 minus 100. So 15% is owned by shareholders. So if you buy a piece of stock, if you go to the stock market and buy it, you own a piece of WWE, right? Or
Right.
TKO now. McMahon owns 34% of that. Endeavor owns 51. So he doesn't have majority voting power, but he could select his a lot of the people on the board of
Hmm.
directors. So if he's like he could choose up to five people or six. So he has a lot of power. So he technically does. He owns 34% of TKO. That means he owns WWE, a little bit of WWE, and still some UFC too. So he could control some decisions from UFC too. It's like, you know what? Fire that one MMA fighter. Endeavor will get the final
I
decision because
don't
they
I
own
don't
50.
I don't understand his character.
Yeah,
I
like
don't get the gimmick.
he's not a gimmick.
He's not a gimmick. He's an
But
actual real fighter, Vince.
I think, and then everybody that I think Triple H made $5 million off the deal. Nick Khan made like 15 million, and some other guy, I think Pete Dunne, no, what's his name? Kevin Dunn made like
Kevin Dunn.
8 million, something
Yeah.
like that. They made money off that. Triple H, if he wants, he could retire right now. He's I don't know if he can live off 5 million, but you know what I mean. But I
Right.
think, man, as long as he's chairman, he could even leave like a successor if he wanted to. Like I think. And Nick Khan said if he wanted to bring back Stephanie, they'll be open arms. Like you could come back if you want, and she could take over the position of her dad, or Triple H could take over as. But
So
yeah,
I
he
I got a
making goon
question.
money right
I
now.
got a question for you.
Yeah,
WWE isn't it like the business term? Isn't it called Titan Sports Incorporated?
Titan Sports Incorporated. No, then it was, but then that was when they bought. That's when McMahon. That's when Vince McMahon bought it from his dad, and then they turned into WWE World Wrestling Entertainment Inc. And then now they're an LLC. They
Mm.
went from an Inc. incorporated company to an LLC. So now it's kind of like obviously there's subdivision, and WWE still owns the entire library. They own 50% of Tap Out the clothing company.
Oh yeah,
They
is Tap
still
Out
own.
still a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Oh
WWE owns
wow.
50% of that, or now TKO. But also, I found that Endeavor owns PBR, the professional bull riders. You know the bull riding companies that come. When they're riding
Yeah,
the bulls, they own
yeah.
that too. So Endeavor owns a lot of companies, and they own part of the Euro League, like the basketball league.
I
So
see right here that yeah, WWE owns 50% of Tap Out, and they
yeah,
still own everything from WCW. And then they
WCW, ECW, all the assets they
well
own.
they consider well yes, but like
The
business wise, it's
yeah,
WCW because
it's a
comparing
business. Yeah.
its actual business.
They own WWE Network still, and still outside the U.S. Performance Center is a separate thing. WWE Studios. So man, if they could make a lot of money right now.
Hmm.
So right now, WWE or Endeavor slash whatever, they could make a lot of
Yeah,
money. Like they're
I know his Ari Manuel. Emmanuel,
Emmanuel,
yeah,
yeah,
Manuel.
yeah,
Emmanuel. I believe that's a close friend of Vince McMahon.
yeah. That's why he made him chairman for life. Unless
I think
McMahon
that
doesn't
guy's
screw
from
up again.
Chicago too. Maybe that's yeah. I believe that guy's from Chicago.
Really? Damn,
Yeah.
boy. You bring back CM Punk then.
CM Punk.
Ah!
CM Punk confirmed.
Confirmed. Wait, I think he's the brother. Wait, is he the brother of this guy? No, he's from. Oh, he is from Chicago. Oh yeah, he's from Chicago. Oh my God, he's the brother of Rahm Emanuel, the former mayor. Remember that guy?
No.
Yeah, he's the brother of Rahm. Oh no, what? He's from Chicago, man. He might be like, hey, bring back CM Punk. He's from Chicago too. No, but no, it's pretty. I mean, we see it. People don't. Yeah, because I didn't understand until I read it. I thought that like Dirty was
Oh,
fully controlled by
yeah.
Endeavor, but it's not. It's still 49%. TKO Endeavor
TKO
only owns
Endorment owns
Endeavor,
fifth in Denver owns 51%. Vince owns 34%.
and then the rest is like people that buy stock
No,
because it's probably.
this is just for TKO.
I know, but the
But
18 the
WWE
15 the 50% of TKO is owned by shareholders. So if you go and buy like stock, you own a little piece of the company. I'm gonna get some stock. I'm gonna get some TKO stock.
probably like $5,000.
Hey man, if it goes up to $20,000, cashing out. Not financial advisor, guys. Well, technically I can't yet, but I got to get certified. Two more certifications for that. But no, but it's interesting to see like what they're gonna do because it's gonna be. I don't obviously they're not gonna have like UFC fights at SmackDown. Oh, well, never mind. They had a MMA fight on SummerSlam, right? No, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna be. I mean, it'd be easier for a lot of UFC fighters to turn into pro wrestlers, and it brings more money too. Like now, WWE has
It's a backup
slash,
thing too.
yeah, but I don't think a lot of wrestlers will go to UFC. It might be like a one fight deal. They might just go. You might see like I don't know who's that. Bobby
I feel
Lashley,
yeah,
maybe.
Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, like those
Yeah,
guys, like legit
like a one
fighters.
fight
Yeah,
deal. Yeah, but like you're
shit,
not gonna
Chad
see
Gable.
Mustafa.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I
I
don't know.
wouldn't,
He's more of a wrestler. He's
but
not
he
gonna
could.
take
Yeah,
a
but they do wrestling there
Yeah,
too.
but like he would not be able to handle like the stand-up game. I don't know. I've never seen him box. I think I forgot Montez
All he
Ford
has
was
to
a
do is
boxer.
wrestle.
Yeah.
You know,
So I mean, it'd be interesting to see too
yeah.
because they said the one I think Ari Emanuel said himself like maybe or somebody else said like it might be a day where like let's say for Survivor Series, right?
Hmm.
Let's say obviously Survivor Series happened in Chicago. They say like the hour before or the day after there'll be UFC event, so back to back. So they'd
Mm,
be in one city the same day, be like WrestleMania, but instead of being like it'd be Saturday would be Survivor Series and Sunday would be UFC 200 and whatever it is now, or
right.
UFC Fight Night, or before the show, like or if they move the UFC fight past 9 o'clock, like hey Survivor Series, can you start at 6 instead of 7, 6 to 9, and then from 9 to 11 you have UFC
Mm,
in not in the same venue but like down the street,
right.
you'll have.
Well, I think they perform at the United Center.
Yeah, so it'd be like that. It'd be like, hey guys, check out UFC. You get one ticket for the price of two or something or whatever, or the same weekend. It'd be like Survivor Series Saturday, get your ticket for UFC Fight Night on Sunday. Like that.
Right.
It might work depending on what city you're in, like Los Angeles or maybe Chicago too. But
My
be pretty.
it's pretty are you
I'm excited. You can tell.
that's really dope, first of all. And Vince
Brought
McMahon
to
is a
you by
genius.
yeah.
Oh, excess energy drink. Give it a shout out right there. A link in the bio.
Yup.
I ran out my cases.
Damn, bro.
So
What were you saying?
I mean they're delicious. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah,
Oh,
so
he's a
Vince,
genius.
yeah, Vince is a genius, what he did. So endurance, whatever, bought WWE because
50%,
Vince
51%.
and him are good friends. And then Emmanuel hired Vince to be part of Endorman. Then, now they started TKO and then owns both brand. They put both brands together, UFC and WWE. My thing is, how come Dana White didn't get a part of that cut?
I think he's still. Oh, he was just the president.
Yeah, he's just the president. He used to own UFC, I believe,
Mm,
many years ago. And
No,
then
no,
did he not?
no, it was owned by Zuffa. Before that, they were independent. It was owned.
And then
It was
Dana
cra-
White bought them. Yeah,
n-
Dana White bought UFC from like the first founders, and then Dana White made millions of dollars. Like he turned it into $1 million company, and then he sold it to somebody, and then
Zuffa. Yeah,
that company was losing money, so they hired Dana White to be president.
yeah.
So he kind of pulled like the Vince McMahon.
They came back, made money,
Yeah,
and then I think it was like that. I'm not 100% sure,
I'm pretty sure that's how
but
I went.
how much money they could make? I mean, they're already making money, both of them.
Oh
Dirty
yeah,
was
for
make
sure.
probably Dirty is making the most money he's ever made. Now, Endeavor, whatever, TKO, whatever. I still call him Endeavor. Endeavor's gonna be making bank just off like that deal alone, and everybody involved with that too. They're gonna keep Triple H as head of creative. Thank God, smartest move ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it makes
But
it WWE.
that wasn't Vince's idea.
No,
Then yeah, that wasn't. It was just I'm pretty
no,
sure
because
they
yeah,
presented the evidence that hey, Triple H ever since he took over of head creative, he's been making money, so he's the obvious choice to continue.
like the highest gates
Yeah,
of all time. Like highest gates, they say like even Payback, which is like like, oh, it's Payback.
right.
They made the most amount of money ever this
Oh,
year
wow.
for Payback and Pittsburgh too. For a Pittsburgh event, it's been the highest gate ever
Hmm.
for WWE shows, obviously. But now I mean, WWE was already big, but WWE is already the head of the head of the table in wrestling, right?
Right.
Now with being backed up by Endeavor and with the connection of UFC, they're gonna be impossible to beat.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
talk
I
about
mean,
AEW and all
the
that, but
WWE's
yeah,
always been impossible, but now it's just like at the point where it's like, dude,
it's
now
a
why?
runaway now. It's
Yeah,
like
now it's like why
you're like
bother?
10 miles ahead.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
it's I mean, it was always like Dirty was always ahead, but it's not like I mean, we never
you were
thought
able to
AEW.
catch up.
Yeah, like
And
or
like,
so, you have a
yeah.
little bit of the market. I
Mhm.
mean, you don't really take a lot of money. I mean, Dirty was still making money regardless of any company around, but
Yeah.
like now it's like really impossible. Like, how are you gonna beat like Dirty B with UFC together? UFC itself is already by a billion-dollar plus company. Dirty
Yeah.
B is now worth $9.1 billion.
And that's why WWE never looked at AEW as a threat because
Or
it's like
anyone
it's like our bank account's still the same. We're making
better.
yeah, or we're making more money. But if it's like, hey, we're losing money because of this person, that's where it's like, oh, now we have true competition.
Yeah,
But
but now
they don't look at the ratings. the battles
No,
between them, they don't really uh care much about that because it's
no, they
like
haven't.
they're pleasing the WWE fans. They're not pleasing. They said it. Vince said it so many times. We please the WWE fans, the ones that tune in and watch every week that doesn't care what goes on because they enjoy it. They're not here to please the guys who are like going flipping back and forth saying, "Oh,
Yeah,
AEW is better, TNA is better, WWE sucks." They're not pleasing them. They don't care
no,
about
they
them.
never will. They never
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
They could sign they could sign everybody from AEW and still be like, no, we don't like this product.
yeah. Oh
It's,
yeah,
I mean, that's everybody's choice. Like, I'm not gonna like, I don't drink soda anymore, but when I drink soda, I didn't like a one brand, but doesn't mean they're gonna stop. You know,
right.
they're gonna still be making that. They're still gonna cater to that brand they like. You know,
Mhm.
so I mean, I mean, overall, I think it's better for everybody. WWE now or Endeavor now it's gonna have a better TV deal. Like, hey, you get UFC and WWE together on your package.
And that's
So
where they're well, I would prefer a female in my package, but eh, but apparently
Fox, right?
speaking
Yeah.
of packages, Amazon is trying to buy WWE.
Was trying to,
Well,
right?
not yeah, try to buy WWE, but then they were like, yeah, no, that's too much money, bro. Maybe, I don't know. But then they went, oh, how about for SmackDown? And then they were gonna have SmackDown on Amazon Prime.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Damn it.
that would have been awesome.
Gonna get my wife,
And
hey Mike,
yeah,
give me the
so
prime.
but that's still a possibility. But not just WWE. I think SmackDown is still on the table. Yes, so SmackDown is
Well,
back on the table.
well, because Fox said they're not gonna renew, so it's gonna be on Fox.
Oh no, they said they make yes, it's not gonna be on Fox, but they said they're gonna move it to FS or something F whatever that other
Oh,
channel is.
I feel like they're gonna lose a lot of viewers because Fox is tech. Well, I don't even have an antenna, but like Fox is like watched by more people because it's like
Mhm.
on basic television.
Oh yeah.
But now moving into a cable network. I mean, well, it works for you. It works for Raw. So it's not like, oh my God, they're gonna lose a million. They might lose a million.
But they're on US network though.
Yeah,
And that's almost and like
that's
every
cable. Yeah,
that's in all cable
all markets.
networks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's on Prime, it probably reach a bigger audience. I don't
Oh
think it's
yeah,
gonna be a.
because everybody's on Prime.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
I don't
everybody.
have Amazon Prime, but I could just tell my wife like, hey, let me log into your account. I don't want to smack them right now. You know? But or I mean, even if I don't see Disney because they're bleeding money like a mother right now. But Peacock, they might just get SmackDown. They already have Raw. They're not gonna probably NBC Universal is gonna keep Raw
No,
for
but
a
it's
long
to
time.
watch it live too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I could see Peacock doing. Probably no, but then NBC's losing money too on that.
it would have to be on NBC.
NBC, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that happening though. Now they with the power of UFC with them. Well,
Mhm.
UFC is on Fox, so it's kind of like gonna be awkward now. Like, hey, you got rid of SmackDown, but you're keeping UFC. You know, hey, separate TV deals mean more money for both. Like, hey,
Oh yeah.
you want to be on NBC, you want to be on Prime, you want to be on Fox. That's great. Three separate contracts. Boom.
Yeah.
Make a lot more money.
Yeah, for sure. I don't see why they should be like, oh, you have UFC has to go everywhere WWE goes, or they
It's like college NFL. NFL's on ABC, CBS, Fox, NFL
Nickelodeon.
Network, Nickelodeon. Yeah, I mean they make
So,
money 4 or 5 times because of 4 or 5 contracts. So
right.
WWE and UFC now or TKO make a lot of money doing that. UFC on Fox, SmackDown on whatever, Amazon, and then it's Raw on Universal or Peak whatever it is, USA. So hey, more money the better. But yeah, it's not we're excited, man. We're not making money off this deal, but hey, we get some stock. Why not, right?
For sure. But you know who else makes money?
Who?
CM Punk.
Woo.
But before we talk about CM Punk, ever let everybody know about our merch.
Yeah, guys, check us out on Teespring, Pro Wrestling Tees.
You
I
botch.
know, I know. Well, we were on Teespring, but we moved to Pro Wrestling Tees. Guys, get your merch. I need a better lighting, so it helps a lot. I mean, your support really matters. I mean, I don't know if anybody's bought a shirt yet, but hey, it keep us going. It keeps us motivated. If we ever see a shirt down the street, like, oh, I see that guy or lady or person with a shirt on, it's motivating and it helps a lot. If worst case, we have to probably start a Patreon, but we don't we don't want to, or worse.
Or go try our energy drinks.
Yeah.
Access energy drinks, link in the
and other
bio,
products too. Yeah,
protein shakes and vitamins. So yeah, that all that stuff is gonna go towards uh better equipment. So and hopefully maybe a editor as well. So
yeah.
but yeah, anyways, now CM Punk, he's gone from AEW. Now the real question is Collision necessary? Uh on Payback, Collision did its worst ratings because one, Tony Khan decided to announce that he fired CM Punk before the show. But even that being said, there wasn't a lot of ticket sales anyways to begin with. But now they got hit
No,
hard. Not only did they get hit hard on the fans attendance, viewerships apparently dropped by 200 views, or no, sorry, 80,000 views. Sorry. It
or
was
more.
around no, it was around the 200 range overall, but it dropped 80,000 compared to last week. But they're not saying like, oh, it's because of no CM Punk. It was because of Payback. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure some of it was because of no Punk, and but they're saying majority of it was probably because of WWE Payback,
I think it's a lot of factors because
and it's
my
on a
brother,
Saturday night.
yeah, when my brother went, I think based on anything, people should not go based off. I don't know, it's hard because you could go based off just TV, but I don't think TNT or whatever who owns them goes off like we'll pay you per viewer. It's like because my brother he went there in person on that Saturday. There's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of people there. Some people that were there were in line to get their refunds back. So I don't know. It might be it's bleeding money. Yeah, somebody evaluated the company at 1 point something billion or $2 billion, but it doesn't mean anything because most of that money is probably just Tony like getting it from his dad. Who knows? We don't know.
Right.
I don't. We don't. He's like, oh, give me $1 billion, Dad, too. Now we can make sure it's a private company too, so you can't really have an evaluation. If it went public, that's a different story. You could put a valuation on it. And then when it goes into the stock market and stuff like that, that's when you know it's like, okay, it's actually making money or not. But it's a privately held company, so you can't really gauge that. Whoever made that number can't really do that. So, but if you, that's what I think I talked about it before. I think it was one of our last chats. It might have been offline or YouTube video. Check out the YouTube video on CM Punk. It's on YouTube. But I think we talked about it. It's where you could have all the people watching it. You could have, I mean, oh, no, I'm not trying to say. It's like it's hard to gauge because
So it's
like
kind of I feel like I get what you're trying to say. So like in AEW All In, they sold
oh,
80,000 tickets, 81,000 tickets, but
not the record, 81,000.
but only 72,000 attended
Wow.
that actually showed up. So that's why there were so many empty seats. It wasn't because those seats were not taken. It was because those people couldn't show up and they tried to resell them and nobody purchased the tickets.
Yeah.
So 81,000 whatever is the official ticket
Paid. Yeah.
purchase, but only around the 72,000 actually attended. And
Yeah.
then what is that? About 9,000, like 9,000. So half of those 9,000 could have been from the states going over there, or other countries, people around the country trying to go to there, but then airport issues, travel issues, got sick, something came up, you know, it could be many reasons of why those people didn't show up.
Yeah.
So the what I want to know is who the hell cares?
Yeah. Attendance, right? No.
Who
So
just first of all, why you gotta lie? Why regardless if they would have said 50,000, that's still pretty cool.
yeah, I'll take 50,000 people.
20,000, 40.
Imagine
Yeah,
we have a stadium show for our podcast and we have 50,000 people and in the stadium watching us
right.
live. I'll take that 50,000 right. I'm like, let's go,
Yeah,
50,000.
I'm
But
fine
no,
with 10 people.
I think I was going based on something like how during the next week, I think there's burnout because the way any company should do, right, after a successful show, because it was successful if you deem it that way. They did sell 81,000. That's great. They sold 81,000, but you said 72 showed up. The thing is, you could have that accolade, but where's your momentum? How is it that the following week, the same week, let's say that Wednesday to Sunday,
Mhm.
you have the worst numbers on TV show and attendance? It should not be that way. It's like if WWE does WrestleMania and then Raw, SmackDown, NXT are like abysmal. It's like you
It
didn't get
fails.
any
Yeah.
momentum, and
Right.
especially if you're in Chicago. Chicago is
Which was a bad
in,
call. They
a
should have
bad
like that was
call.
that was just too much.
It's too much. First of all, you're doing
After
back to
after
back.
your big pay-per-view event.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like your big pay per view, you're doing a show the week after that in the city of Chicago, and you decide to fire CM Punk the day of
In his
Collision
hometown.
in his hometown. I know a lot. Some people I've talked to, only went to Collision or that week, to watch CM Punk.
Yeah.
I
That
even said,
I went to All Out
yeah,
for
you went
two
to all out.
reasons. For me to say, okay, I went to All Out, bucket
Mm,
list. Hopefully to go. Well, now I'm going to Bound for Glory,
yeah,
but hopefully to be able to go to WrestleMania. So I'm able to say I went to the big three of all the major companies.
oh, you forgot New
That
Japan in the
states,
U.S. In the U.S.
states, the ones
Yeah,
I care and watch.
yeah.
Because then you gotta say Triple A too. So
Oh, dude,
man,
I'll go to AAA, dude.
I would love to, but all my favorite luchadors passed away.
Oh
R.I.P.
man,
R.I.P. La Parca. Um. Oh, and then El Hijo de Pero Aguado.
Aguayo.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Um. So yeah, and that's the other reason. Oh, and then John Moxley and CM Punk. No CM
Mm,
Punk, but I'm like, okay, at least I got John Moxley, and he was in the main event and he
yeah,
won. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got my money's worth for that part
yeah.
because that was my main event. Orange Cassidy, and even though the build-up for it was weird, but
It's
I'm like,
abysmal.
that's my main event, and I'm like, oh, it is the main event, awesome. And then obviously another perk was Daniel Bryan showing up, but Tony Khan, he's it was you're right and you're wrong. It's like, yeah, Daniel Bryan, he's the guy to step up, but at the same time, it's like we're in Chicago, buddy.
Yeah.
Any other city, yeah, sure. Daniel Bryan, yes, but in Chicago, it's like, oh,
And then the
yay.
backup was some other person, whoever from Chicago, like three people or something. Like you said, that people use like you said before, like you can't. I don't know. Yeah, you're right though about that. Like you went for particular reasons, right? That's why
Mhm.
my brother said when he was at Collision, there was more people in line to get their refund than people gonna sit down, or
Mm.
about, there's a long line of people like, I want my refund, because it's, I think, advertised, if you advertise somebody, you could get your refund back. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like how I said, like you come from the biggest show according to them ever.
Mhm.
It was not. There's probably bigger shows. There was WrestleMania 32. There's the one in North
Eric
Korea.
Bischoff said
There's
it best. Eric Bischoff said it best. It did not feel like a WrestleMania show. It felt like an indie show on steroids.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how you come off that show, you come to Chicago, those smack. I think it's one of the. Well, we're biased, but we're not biased because Chicago is one of the most biggest cities. Everybody comes here at
Oh
least
yeah,
once a
no, I'm
year.
not being biased. I'll
No, and
say it.
Chicago
Chicago, I hate Chicago. But when in
the
wrestling and
city. Yeah,
sports, the fans are like
amazing.
crazy or in amazing and all that. So I will admit that part.
The
So
fact
there,
that
I'm not being
you
biased.
yeah, the fact that they come to Chicago based from that event. Dynamite, I saw the seating. You were there, right? No, you didn't go to
No,
Dynamite.
I was going to,
My
but I
brother went to
didn't.
Dynamite. It was kind of there. People, Collision, abysmal. Rampage was it's connected with Dynamite,
Mhm.
abysmal. Because everybody left. But my brother say like he left during Ring of Honor or something like that. There was like 8 matches, and he left during the middle of a
So
Ring of
how did
Honor.
he tell you how the show went?
He said they were good.
No,
It
no,
just
like
like
how was the in order?
it was first they did Dynamite, then Rampage, which was a bad idea, and then they did
Well, no, they
no,
have to do it that way
yeah,
because it's
but
taped.
But I think my brother said he left during Rampage.
Mm.
and then he left during Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor and Collision were together. I forgot what the order, but then Collision was bad. You saw the video, right?
Yeah.
My brother sent me the video. I was like, this is bad, like
And then
really
Punk,
bad.
and then the you got the Young Bucks. They want to show up to Collision because they apparently they were banned. But it's like, aren't you guys the VP?
Yeah,
But I guess you guys don't
and
have
then
that much power.
and then All Out was more full, but you had Rose by yourself,
Oh yeah,
like Rose. There was like
I was not complaining. I kept moving around trying to get a better
so
view.
that's what I'm like, and that's the thing. Like I think CM Punk, obviously, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why he started like just being
To
aggressive.
get
If there's anybody,
fired,
no, but before I know, yeah, to get fired, but at the same time, like it backfired on AEW too because I don't
right?
even.
Yeah,
And then they say, oh, we're gonna do the reason people went there. A lot of people went there is to get a easier schedule. Oh, 4 pay-per-views a year. They're technically doing a pay-per-view every month at this point. They did All Out, and then a week later they did All In. No, All In, All Out, and then they're doing Wrestle Dream, and then they're doing Full
Wrestle
Gear.
Dream, which is there's no need for there,
Yeah,
no need for Wrestle Dream.
it's in Seattle. I mean, I'm from that state, but at the same time, it's not like
It's
okay.
yeah, it's not necessary.
Like then you have to have Full Gear, and then after that, I don't know what's in December. But it's like
Janet or I don't know. Yeah, December is
a break.
television. No, television special. Winter is coming.
Uh,
January is gonna be. I think January is a revolution, if
yeah.
I'm
So
not mistaken.
so they went from going like 4 pay-per-view shows a year to now like five in the last 6 months.
And
Whatever.
they're like big pay per views. Like
Yeah, they're
they're
like,
promoting. He's promoting it. They're like, this is the next big show. I mean, do you know who else did that? WCW.
yeah,
Every pay per view.
I,
This is a
I,
big event. One of the biggest show. We're gonna have the biggest matches. It's like, why? You just
yeah.
had like their big shows were technically their big shows were Starcade, but
Mhm.
they never treated it that way, even though they should have.
It
Starcade
was
should
the
have.
oldest pay-per-view too. It's probably
Mhm.
older than WWE.
Halloween Havoc,
Oh
which
yeah,
is a great pay per view, but they treated that pay per view as a freaking main WrestleMania.
yeah,
If you
man.
look back at the lineup, it's like, God damn, that's a WrestleMania match. That should have been Starcade. And then
Yeah,
you had the Great American Bash, but then eventually they didn't treat it that way.
yeah. So they kind of like
And
kept
the
shifting, right?
yeah, and
They
then
kept shifting.
Bash in the Beach
Bash at the Beach, yeah.
was the another big one. And they and again they just never treated it like
And
so
then World
Bash
War
of the
Three,
Beach, yeah.
World War Three. They had War Games. They had no
Mm,
War Games
yeah.
was World War Three, I think. No, World War
Yeah,
Three was
yeah.
three different rings in one. And then they had the one with the mega cage match, whatever it's called,
The triple cage match or something.
something like
Oh,
that.
I know. I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I
Yeah,
forgot.
like that's what I said about Impact. Like for a while, I didn't know what Impact's like WrestleMania was. Okay, they switched like three
It's Bound for
times.
Glory, but it should have been
Victory
Slammiversary
Road.
or Victory Road because
See,
Victory Road was their first actual pay-per-view.
I think
But
that's what
they
WWE
made
did smart. They
yeah.
like says WrestleMania is the biggest show. Obviously, there's the Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, but WrestleMania is the show, and there's nobody's doubted it since day number one. These other companies, they shifted every year. They're like, oh, this is the biggest show of the year. Like this year was All In, even though All In was not All In was yeah, it was like the precursor to the AEW. That's pretty much what inspired Tony Khan. Like, hey, Rhodes and Bucks, I want to see if you want to start a wrestling company. I got the backup financially. You guys got the people. But then All Out was their actual first show. The big
And
show
it should have no it was
or
Double or
Revolution.
Nothing.
Oh, Double
Double
or
or
Nothing.
Nothing.
See, that's what I don't even know anymore. Like, what's their
Mhm.
WrestleMania? I thought
It
now
used
All In's
not
a
yeah.
WrestleMania.
It used to be it
Technically,
was technically Double or Nothing, but then they went no, it's gonna be All Out, and then now it's
it's All In.
All In, I guess. So I don't
Mm,
know. It's weird,
yeah.
but yeah. So CM Punk, do you think CM Punk is gonna go to WWE? What are the chances of that happening? Like give me like a percentage, and if you think it will happen, when do you think it will happen? By
I'm thinking like 35%.
Mhm.
Because WWE has been very forgiving for people that have done worse. People have
Oh
done worse.
yeah, yeah.
People have done worse. I mean, the worst thing that CM Punk did was talk smack about the company, right?
Mhm. But he got the okay from Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Other
So
people have punched Vince McMahon. They have spit on him. they said F you and his company in on television,
Mhm.
Bret Hart. And they
Brock
can't
Lesnar, Stone
Brock
Cold Steve
Lesnar
Austin walked out on him.
walked out on the people walked out on WWE. People have engaged in like you know like violence towards people,
The
but he came back. You
Yeah,
know, even
Vince
Alberto Del
said
Rio. I
it.
think Alberto
Yeah.
Del Rio like punched a producer in the face, and he came back. He still came back, but he didn't last. But he
Hmm.
came back.
Well, he
WWE.
lasted a year.
Oh
He
yeah,
only
yeah,
had a
yeah.
1 year contract.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it's like WWE is very forgiving. Obviously, I don't think CM Punk is welcome back in AEW ever again. That's why I remember that video. I saw that one video where Tony Khan's like, "I'm afraid for my life," and then Vince McMahon comes. There's a video of McMahon. He's
Oh
like
yeah.
he's getting suplex and all that. Like he's, it's kind of the difference. McMahon would be like, "What's best for business and what's best for money?"
Mhm.
CM Punk. I'm thinking he'll come back to Survivor Series because I'll be there, so I want to see him. So I'm just saying, I'm biased. Um, but I do Chicago be the best place for him. I think he
Mhm.
needs a little break right now to cool off.
Right.
So I'm thinking Survivor Series in Chicago will be the best option for him.
2 months from
And
now.
then
So,
yeah, so 2 months, like bro, you just go home. You were making money off the your merch sales. You probably made most of the money from AEW. He probably owe you a big check anyways. Your contract and all that. But I'm thinking he should do like the same thing, like from Survivor Series to like to WrestleMania, and that's it.
mm, yeah,
Just do that.
I agree with you.
And
But for
especially like
me, yeah.
you said like now Endeavor's involved. They want to be like, you know what? What's gonna make us be like we're a new company. TKO is technically a new company, but it's not, it's
And they
still
want to be taken serious.
yeah, like you know what? What's the best thing we could do for our company? Let's bring in CM Punk for let's do 6 months from
Mhm.
November to April, whatever WrestleMania is, April. Just do that, and then if he shows he's not doing BS or none of that stuff he was doing in AEW, okay, let's extend it for a little bit longer and let him retire as a WWE. Retire at You could retire at WrestleMania. We'll never know.
Mm,
That'd be kind of cool. And then from there, you just make your money off the Legends deal or whatever.
right.
Just live off that money. You don't have to come back ever again. No
Mhm.
more backstage fights. But that's what I'm thinking. Like it would be a way to prove, like, okay, let's give him this contract for 6 months until WrestleMania. And if he does, if he wants to retire at WrestleMania and
You
get
wouldn't
into all
renew his contract. You would just be like, that's it,
I would
just
no,
till
I
WrestleMania.
would go based off like
His
how he's
behavior.
doing. Like
Yeah.
I think even the Bucks, Young Bucks said like for a while they noticed CM Punk's behavior getting better,
Right.
but then it just kind of nosedive, like you say, he was trying to get fired. So it was like, okay, calm down, from the last incident he had.
So yeah, because they were gonna have a meeting and then
Yeah,
see if they could work a match, and or just be on good terms. But then thanks to Jungle Boy, who should have been
yeah,
fired as well.
yeah, he should
But
be.
I
Yeah,
do agree with you. Survivor Series is the best place because especially where he got fired, where Tony Khan, and then just imagine 2 months later. My percentage is 50. The reason why I say 50 is because we've talked about it. Manuel, he's from Chicago. Somebody, I'm assuming it's him now because if he's from Chicago, Mayor, we had this conversation offline or whatever. Um, that he asked Nick Khan about having CM Punk, or Nick Khan reached out about the trying to get CM Punk back to the company to work a deal or something. Survivor Series would be a good place. Uh, Royal Rumble would be dope because they just announced the Royal Rumble is going to take place in Tampa, Florida, where Cena's home state. Is that right? Home
Oh
state, his
well,
residence,
hometown,
whatever.
his
Home.
resident. Yeah, he
That's
lives
where
in
he lives
Florida,
there.
but
Yeah,
he's from Boston or Boston
yeah.
area.
So Cena's gonna wrestle. He has to, right? Like, I mean,
Ooh.
that's why he doesn't have to, but I feel like why not? You live hours, minutes away from the stadium, anyways, and plus it's a stadium.
Well,
So,
depends on his if it depends if the Hollywood's back in session or not. Which who knows? There might be
but
a
they could make a
whole
deal right now saying, hey, we're
yeah.
gonna be in your. Maybe that's why they did it there. Maybe that's why, like, say, hey, if we go to Tampa, will you be part of the Rumble?
Guess
Yeah, of
what's near
course.
Tampa too? Not too close, but Miami. Guess who lives in Miami? The
Who?
great one,
Oh,
You
The
smell what the
Rock.
Rock is cooking. He lives in Miami. But it's not close. Obviously, it's probably like a few hours. Like I don't know. I've never been to Florida, so I don't know. But it's far. It's
I've been
it's
to
kind of like
Orlando.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
Tampa's
like
up here and then Orlando's down. Oh, Miami's down here and Tampa's up here, but it's like 6 hours probably. I don't know.
yeah.
Whatever. It's a big state.
So yeah, that'd be cool. But then
So you
also
say at the
imagine
Rumble?
I could imagine him being at the Rumble because it's like imagine hearing Cena's theme song, and then after that it's CM Punk, and then you could build a match with Punk and Cena at WrestleMania.
I don't know because I would
Punk,
say he's still
nah, who do you? No, wait. First of all, what are you gonna say? What are you
no.
gonna say?
I go. I don't know. It just seems logical for him to come back to Chicago. It's like his
Oh
hometown.
no, I
He
don't
got fired
disagree
in
with you.
Chicago.
I'm
I don't.
saying I prefer him at the Rumble because at least that way we could just get because one, it's in the stadium.
I would say he
Yeah.
confronts Cena at the Rumble. I don't say he comes back at the Rumble. He confronts Cena at the Rumble.
No, at the Royal Rumble
Yeah.
match.
Or
So
he
that's what I'm
throws him,
saying.
or John Cena's in the match and CM Punk throws him over.
And then if that's gonna be the case, no, because I would rather have him wrestle at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Because if it's just gonna have him come out, then Survivor Series is the best way.
Or just have him like a contract where he only wrestles like not a lot, like just
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
wrestle at the Rumble and then wrestle like a match or two on Raw or SmackDown, whatever brandy, and then like do like the legend, like the Edge deal, like wrestle here and there, and then at
Yeah.
WrestleMania, go bonkers. And then
Because
after that, Dirty could be
yeah, for
like,
sure.
I don't know. I mean, he's been pretty good. He hasn't fought anybody backstage or anything, or he hasn't done any incidents of any kind. Let's keep him
I mean,
around if
he
he
never
wants to.
did. He never did in WWE. He just had issues with
Company
the
itself,
no.
no,
God,
against the booking.
the bookers. Yeah.
But
Is it the
now
bookers? The guys who
the
come up to
writers.
the writers. There you go, the writers.
But I
He had
think
issues with them.
yeah. But I think now, especially with under a new umbrella, under a new pretty much a new company or new ownership, I think people that were dirty before that felt burned or they're like, I don't like that company, they might have a change of heart. You never know. Like the
Yeah.
wrestlers and people that work there. Like now they could be like, well, I don't know of how Endeavor does things, but they're hopefully better. They're not like super cutthroat and stuff. I mean, I think they treat the UFC people. I don't know. I never really heard anything about them like treating
I
UFC
never heard
fighters bad.
anything. I never heard
It's
anything
mostly the
bad.
commissions that suspend the wrestlers, but you know what I mean. Like it brings people like, well, now it's under a new ownership technically, not fully owned by Endeavor, but it's like it's a new ownership.
Right.
They might be more open to like, having me. Like you said, Ari Emanuel might be like, hey, let's get the CM Punk guy, and he's bringing money to that other company. He brought millions of dollars for them for just on merch alone. Let's see what he could do for us. Make us some money, and if he wants to stay, we could sign him for a contract long term. Or if not, he could retire anytime he wants.
Especially, you know how much money Punk could bring, not just because of what he did for AEW that one period of time, is how well Collision fails from the moment Punk has been on the show, that's gonna show like, hey, when I first made an appearance, I don't know how much they threw, but let's just say five, like half a million views.
Hmm.
And then like
It
when
was
I
close to a
was,
million, I think.
yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
And
because
then so it's like imagine it from going from okay, then let's say a million views. Say the first episode was a million views.
yeah,
From a million views
sold out arena too.
till CM Punk at the United Center
Yeah,
till the point where Punk is gone. That's eight. That's 800,000 views.
they lost. Let's say from the debut, it was like 700 and something thousand, and the arena was not full. It was like probably at 50% or something. No, like 20% or 30%.
Full.
You, yeah,
So 80% empty.
80% empty, pretty much, or
Damn,
whatever. I don't know.
they only had 13 episodes, so damn.
Yeah, that was quick. Pull the plug real quick.
Jeez. Yeah,
You don't last that long.
June 18th or 17th.
That's 655,000 views they lost since the debut. That's uh, that's like an entire city of people. Some cities are like that big.
And that was the first, I believe Collision was the first episode. I believe that was like the first time they announced like what's it called? the episode for, I mean, not an episode, they added the first match for All Out.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how like things change. Yeah, anything, even a few episodes after that, we're doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden, Punk got to, Punk was on there, and then bringing more views. If we could actually, because we don't care, I don't care about ratings, but like, it makes a difference when you look at it that way. You're like, wow,
I
these
mean,
guys
it
actually,
does matter because they could get canceled. That's it.
yeah,
But like the whole war battles, it's like that's why do you guys care about that so much?
yeah. Mhm.
So uh all right, well, before we continue, once again, check out the links in the bio and hit that like and subscribe video. Yeah, and share. We're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and yeah, access energy drinks link in the bio where it says Ian energy drinks, whatever. I don't know what it says. And also we sell it's also we sell oh my gosh, protein shakes, vanilla and chocolate,
And
and
other
then
things
the
too.
daily vitamins. So also check out the merch, pro wrestling tees. So like I said, everything in the links are in the bio, TikTok and IG as well. Becky Lynch is the new NXT Women's Champion. Now she is in that picture with the four horsewomen: Charlotte, Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bailey. Now Becky Lynch is in that mix. Congrats to Becky. Kind of weird that she won it on an NXT episode and not at No Mercy. I guess maybe she's gonna drop the belt back to Tiffany at No Mercy.
Hmm.
So congrats to Becky. Yeah, it's it finally, I guess.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say. Just congrats to her.
yeah. Congrats. I mean, she didn't need it, but it's good to have that Grand
Yeah,
Slam.
oh yeah, at least yeah, now she's a grand slam with
It's like the thing where we're like it's like the thing where like you don't need it, but like hey, it's good you have it. Especially she'll elevate. I mean, NXT was getting better and better. I mean, their ratings were getting better and
well,
everything.
because of Judgment Day, not because
Yeah.
of Ali.
Oh
No
yeah.
no offense, Ali.
No, but now with Becky in the mix for a little while, who knows? Like September 30th, right? So no
Yeah.
mercy. So in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So yeah, I mean, it could probably bring a lot of ratings to NXT, and then from there at no mercy. Oh, that's could bring nostalgia, man. Remember No Mercy? It's NXT. I mean, I like the NXT's doing that though.
One of my favorite pay-per-views, No Mercy and No Way Out.
Ooh, I love like the old logos they had too. But I'm saying like No Mercy, NXT's been doing that a lot lately. They've been bringing back a lot of old WWE,
Well, yeah, because of Triple
WCW,
H.
I think ECW pay-per-views too. Heat Wave was the
Mhm.
ECW. I think they're trying to get like Hardcore Revolution or the one of the other ones like WrestlePalooza. Like there's some
Oh yeah,
ECW.
yeah. I don't
I
know.
think they
WrestlePalooza reminds me of the Gigolo Championship Wrestling.
Juggalo Champ, yeah.
Yeah.
But those might be like TV specials. But yeah, it'd be kind of awesome to see Becky Lynch actually carry the belt around. I mean, are you speaking of that? You think they're treating NXT still as developmental, or now it's a third brand? Because I feel like what was the point of merging the women's tag team titles if it was not going to be,
No, because there wasn't that much women's division in the
yeah, okay.
NXT.
So you
And
think they're going to merge like the North American title with the Intercontinental or with the US title, or is it going to still keep
I
that
hope
separate because
not. Yeah.
they still have a lot of men in that
Me
division?
personally, me personally, I have mixed feelings because it'd be cool if the United States title and the North American become one, because then that way the NXT title, more North American title, could be on the main roster brand, and then NXT could just bring a new television, well, yeah, maybe a television title. They
But
could bring a new title in, but at the same time, it's like you
there's-
kind of need that legacy of the title.
yeah,
Um, but
because
I
then you have
don't
a lot
want.
of you have a lot of guys that have pretty much just wrestling for like the NXT title, the tag team. The
But they
North
could. That's
Americans
what
there
I'm
to have
saying. They
a.
could. Yeah, they could bring another title. I'm saying, like,
I
if the
mean,
United
why would they
States,
though? Why would they though?
because the
What,
I feel like the North American title belongs to be in the main roster.
I don't know
But
because
I don't want the United States title legacy to be gone, because that's the last WCW title.
well, the World Heavyweight title technically,
Well, no,
but
the like
not
the
lineage.
range. Yeah, the
Oh, the
lineage
range.
and the reigns and
Yeah,
all that. It
I would
still has
see.
all that.
because if you really look at the history, the North American title precedes the U.S. and the Intercontinental title, like in history wise.
Right.
Because North American title has been around since like the 50s or something. I think the
Hmm.
U.S. title's been around since the 70s. I think the Intercontinental like 79. So I think I don't know if WWE acknowledges the old North American, but what would it you said television title, but that's just kind of like that's like
NXT
when
Television Championship.
yeah, but
That doesn't
that's kind
sound
of
dope.
no, because it's not like television doesn't matter anymore. It's like how Impact is doing the digital media. It's like television title is kind of like outdated now. You know what I mean? That's why even with the AEW title, it's called the TBS and TNT. They should just change that. That's just disgusting. Go change that into like something else. Like the woman should be like the international women's title. Instead of TBS, and the TNT should be
Mm,
like the whatever title. Make it like non. Because that television is kind of like outdated anyways. Call it the digital media. Call it um
well,
like
Impact
well
does that already.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, the thing is, WWE was gonna do the Europe thing, the NXT Europe thing. So I would think the North American title would be important for that if they were ever to like bring NXT Europe. I was thinking about that actually. They announced that, but I don't know if they'll ever actually pull it through.
Hmm.
Be kind of interesting to see, and they could always like go put the North American title in Europe, and they'll be like, oh, I'm the foreigner because you're an American in Europe be a foreigner. So I don't know. I mean, like the old school kind of heel thing, like oh, I bring North American title to Europe, and I'll make it the European title, whatever,
Like
the
Will
European
Ospreay.
Championship. Yeah, like that, like how you renamed the US title to the UK title, whatever.
But for the North American Championship, got some bad news because the great Dirty Dom is gonna drop the belt to Ali at No Mercy. So that sucks.
Ooh,
You know, I mean,
Ali needs something though. Ali needs something, bro. He needs
he's
something.
yeah. I mean, he's posting like matches, not matches, but like he's training at freelance. Obviously, I'm being a little like, yeah, I don't really care. Uh, like Ali's posting all these training videos, like, oh, I could get out of every other move, but it's like, well, you don't know how to get out of a mid card pitcher.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like we all know you're a great wrestler, but the one thing you're lacking is character. How come he's not practicing like promos, not trying to find a character for himself? And he was given one, but he was basically like Seth Rollins,
Oh wow.
and then he had that mini feud with with Dove Ziggler. That didn't go anywhere. And it's like, it's one of those things. It's just, to me, I don't really understand where it's like, how come a guy like Ali, where I don't know, it's like, why are they not telling him, hey kid, you got to work on this and we're going to train you to work on this? Or I know he has refused a lot of gimmick changes. WWE would go up to him and be like, hey, what about this? And no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, he wants to basically be himself. And then he finally caved. He never wanted to be a heel, and then he finally became one, but he didn't want to use his race as a heel. Like, he didn't want to. So
Traditional heel, like the
yeah,
foreign heel thing.
yeah. So, which I understand,
Yeah,
but
that's more like the 80s, 90s, like oh,
yeah.
Soviet Union, and you're like,
And then we
like
live in a world
iron.
where everything's so sensitive.
Yeah.
So, and it could put Ali in danger as well.
Oh yeah, they'd be like, it's a gimmick,
So
guys. Don't
yeah,
it's playing a
but
character.
at the same
Uh,
time, it's just like, dude, you just find a gimmick, find something.
yeah.
But it's like, he's like I said, it's just he's posting all this workouts and his training, and it's just like, dude, like, find a gimmick, man. Like, he used to be a cop, and I don't understand why they won't use that as a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you used to be a cop. Oh, okay, cool. You're gonna be the wear a cop gimmick outfit.
Be an enforcer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just me. But hey, if he wins the NXT championship, congrats to him. And if he doesn't, it's one of those
What
why?
ifs.
Why? You know, what was the whole purpose of all of this then? But then it sucks because it's like I do want Ali to win, but at the same time, it's like, damn, I don't want he's taking the title off Dom, and I think it's too early. And so because Dom is doing very well. You know, he gets booed out of the building. He's not the future star. He is the star. He is a WWE superstar right now. And Ali, and that's the thing with Ali. Ali's trying to be a pro wrestler, and where it's like, dude, do you want to be a pro wrestler in WWE? Because that's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
You know, you should be a WWE superstar. And he looks like a WWE superstar, but he just doesn't act like a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, but anyways, good luck, Ali. Even though it sounded like I hated you. So, NXT No Mercy is not the only pay-per-view we're looking forward to. But before we go into that, once again, links in the bio, hit that like and subscribe, and appreciate it if you guys are still on this, you know, listening to us or watching us. So yeah. Up next, what we are gonna do. Um well, I forgot what we're gonna do. Oh,
Fantasy booking
ever.
for Fastlane.
No, that is a future episode.
Uh,
For this, we're doing guess the pay-per-view ever.
oh God.
That's where I got confused. Yes. You ready? I'm not
Yeah.
ready. So hold on, I should have pulled my notes before I done this.
What
That's why I was like, wait, what? I was supposed to do
am I
something.
doing? What am I doing right now?
Where am I?
Where is
Hello?
this?
Ever, how are you where are you doing on my laptop? Hey man, how mad would you be if I forgot to hit the record button?
Oh, that'd be bad.
All right, Ever, guess the pay-per-view. All right. There is no timer because you know, yeah, I don't know how to work that. Anyways, good luck. All right. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
If there is a timer, it starts after the first match. Opening match, Triple H versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Mr. Kennedy, Lance Cade, Taylor, Murdoch, I
Trevor
forgot.
Murdoch.
Yeah, versus Jeff Hardy, Brian Kendrick, and Paul London, in
Okay, it's like what?
a six-man tag team match. CM Punk versus Big Daddy V for the ECW Championship. Any guesses so far?
No.
Triple H versus Umaga for the WWE Championship.
Wait, what was the first match? You said Triple H in the first match,
Yeah, Triple H versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
and then Triple H versus Umaga. Oh no,
Yeah.
wait, I'm lost now. I'm really. Wait a minute.
Finley versus Rey Mysterio. Beth Phoenix versus Kansas Michelle for the WWE Women's Championship. Batista versus the Great Khali for the World Heavyweight Championship, and the main event, Randy Orton versus Triple H for the WWE Championship in a last man standing. Any
Oh my
guesses?
God, give me a hint.
A hint, it happened at 2007. Main event, Triple H versus Randy Orton. You can ask me questions, man. Talk to me.
I'm trying to like.
This is why there's no timer.
Was it Judgment Day?
No. But I will say this pay-per-view is no longer on the main roster. Ooh.
Okay, so no longer the main roster. So is it? Oh, wait, is it No Mercy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you said not main roster, so I'm like, wait, NXT is not main roster. So NXT. Oh, so No Mercy 2007.
Seven. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Wow.
official main
I
event
I had that in my
was
head, but I was like, I don't want to say it because it might be wrong. That's why I say
but
Judgment Day.
it's not like you had one
Yeah,
guess. You
yeah,
could
I know,
have
right?
throw
Yeah,
pay-per-views out there.
yeah, true.
So, but yeah, it was No Mercy 2007 in Chicago. So it was in the
Ooh,
Allstays Arena. I
man, we
was
had no
supp-
money. We could have gone.
so yeah, I was still in high school.
Yeah, me too.
I
Like,
mean, I did watch it at Chasers.
yeah.
So, yeah, but the official main event was Randy Orton, John Cena for the WWE Championship in the Last Man Standing, and Triple H was originally supposed to face Umaga in a singles match, but Obviously Vince McMahon awarded Randy Orton with the title, and then Triple H came out. It's like, nah, you got to defend it, blah blah blah, and then Orton lost the belt, and then Triple H still had to go out there and face what's it called, Umaga, and Vince said, oh, now it's for the WWE Championship. Triple H retained, and then he told Triple H saying like Vince was like, well, I promised the fans a main event, and the main event was the last man standing match. So I guess you're gonna go out there again after he just had a 10-minute match with Randy Orton and a 6 to 7 minute match with Umaga, but it's freaking Umaga. So it was a 20-minute match. So
Wow.
yeah, and then the last man standing match was 20 minutes. So
Wow.
he
He
wrestled
wrestled all night, pretty much.
36 minutes. Yeah.
But
He
still,
was
that's
the
like a whole. That's
opening,
like
mid, and main event.
wow,
And Randy Orton was opening and main event.
wow. That's nuts.
Yes, sir. But all right, take us home.
All right, listeners and viewers, to be it for this episode. I'm Ever, and this is Ian.
And we are out.
Bye, guys.
Doo-doo-doo.